Presto.
Good evening, UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Wolf Commander Wolftan. I'm your werewolf tonight. We're doing a free for all, but look at the title. It is Event Stream. For the first time in history, we're going to be bitching about things.
I think
Vent.
we've been
There's an
doing that for
imposter
a
among
long
us?
time now.
Yeah, but it finally has an official title. Might as well call it
Mhm.
the bitch stream.
I don't want you to
I'm,
get
wi-
monetized.
I don't give a damn if I'm not monetized. They can bitch and moan about me all the time. You know what? Let me list off who's here to vent. Let's start with
Mhm.
the lovely lady of Valor, Leia plus size.
Good evening, everybody. This is Leah Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor. And get ready. This is going to be one heck of a show because, as the Wolf Commander just mentioned, we are going to vent on a variety of topics. So get ready. I am sure this is going to be a very entertaining, educational, and interesting show. Glad you all could make it.
There's the Bear of the North, Eloise Dottle.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Oh, she's got a lot to say. Trust me. Once we get her started, we got the Party Pooper, the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Charming. Greetings to viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12, and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And we are about to have a free-for-all stream today, but it's also going to be a venting stream because there's an imposter among us.
Several. We also have the Hound of the South, who's also another Party Pooper, Dominic Powell.
Yeah, why do you have to say the thing like that, man?
Because you're the little brother of our dynamic. And usually the big brothers bully the little brothers.
Not always.
Not all.
Anyway,
Sometimes.
good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live stream. And while everyone's not wrong, though there's gonna be venting. However,
What did
we're also gonna be
Nerdrotic
having
do?
Hang on, Eloise. Let him finish.
Sorry.
countering the venting. We're also gonna be sharing some positivity.
That's it.
Ooh.
Like,
Well,
look,
that's nice.
hey, how about this? Like, we're gonna be sharing some positivity as we're going through a variety of topics, whether it's manga, anime, comic books, video games, anything else in between. Whatever we mention, we're gonna start talking about it.
And
if you hear
Wolf's
Wolf
playing
screaming-
Deadstream
Yeah.
2, I think.
Dead Space
Dead
2.
Space 2.
Dead Space.
Yeah, if you hear him
Sorry.
screaming, that's why. And if you hear video game noises, yeah, he's playing Dead Space 2.
Sit your ass down.
And there you
Schizophrenia, kids. Know the signs.
Come
Because if
on, tell my.
Wait,
hear a man screaming
Nerdrotic
in a
takes
room.
forever.
If you hear a man screaming in a room and he's all alone, I might want to call the police.
Child of flower.
Dread, I'm sorry. Give me some time to look it over. I still haven't gotten back to you about that. I know I said I've done that. He's got
John,
his
what gives
kaiju.
you any idea that the Wolf Commander himself is a freaking octopus?
He's a werewolf. Get it right.
I'm
got
just
the
wondering where she got
fur.
the octopus come from.
Well,
I have it.
well, he,
I have it stored in my wares. I'll be popping it up and reading it. If not tonight, tomorrow, and I'll get back to you. There's a lot of things I've been promising people, and I need to fulfill my damn promises. It's really sad, guys.
Well, I mean, this is
Wait,
a vent stream.
at
I
least
guess they're like
at
venting.
least you're not.
Where
man.
puss?
Hey man, at least you're not breaking promises.
That is true. So yeah, give me some time to check that out, Red. He's been sharing his World War Kaiju fanfic. He's been wanting to know if anybody read it or not, and I
You know,
took it
since
to link it.
since someone mentioned Nerdrotic, I think my problem with his reviews sometimes is that like he's too caught up on comparing House of the Dragons to Rings of Powers, and I get it. They're both fantasy related shows and they're both adapting a history book in a fictional world. it's like they're both adapting like a compendium of information from the story and stuff like that. But I think I think he's being too lenient on the show.
Which show? You think he House of the Dragon? You think he needs to give
Yeah.
it more criticism? Yeah. I agree with
Yeah.
your analysis too. I think that, as you said, we spoke in the green room, that because Woke of well, almost said it. Woke of Power is so bad, and it is such an abomination to the human civilization, that he's giving House of the Dragon a pass. I do think that it's just like you said. I think that he needs to point out that this House of Dragon is not exactly perfect itself. It isn't. I am surprised and shocked at how many people are giving that show a pass. I really am.
I mean, I watch it mainly because I just want to see what Matt Smith does next. Because like, I'm rooting for Damon in this one, even though like they made Damon's character more likable. Like, I think they just messed up like the black faction. Like, it's basically the blacks and the greens, the princess and the queen. Those are like the two factions. The princess's faction is the blacks, and the queen's faction is the greens.
You keep that tongue away from me, bitch.
like what I said, Wolf, your comments. Yeah, I
Schizophrenia, kids. No,
like I think they made like the changes, like the
Oh, now
Yeah,
I see.
throw your ass there,
Now I
bitch.
see
Assume the
Child. Now I see
position.
Child of Flowers dichotomy with Wolf being an octopus. Now I see why.
Wait, what?
Child of Flower just said Wolf is actually an octopus. I knew it. And I asked, what gives you any idea that the Wolf Commander himself is an octopus? But then you're playing Dead Space 2, and yet I just remembered Leia also mentioned this too when she first sent it on here before the stream went live, and I was like, oh, now I get it.
Uh-huh. It's interesting after the comments.
Oh shit, I missed.
Matt Smith. No, Child Flower, I am happy for Matt Smith. I am glad
Bitch,
Matt
assume the
Smith.
position. Bye bye.
Oh, okay. I just see the story.
There's no
away
one in
from
the
me.
room.
Get away from me.
Yeah,
Get away from me.
well, okay,
Don't touch me.
I
Would you not touch me? I said don't come. Don't come, bitch.
Oh, well,
Do you want me to call the police on you?
you don't know how you sound over
Because I'm
there right
very
now.
concerned for you that you might have a case of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid I really need to call
He's
the police
playing-
on you.
He's
I know he's
playing
playing Dead
video.
Space 2, but
Just-
it sounds like he's suffering a very terrible case of schizophrenia.
No, I'm suffering a bad date, and I just died.
You know, they altered
Schizophrenia,
the
kids, know the signs.
like the thing I don't like about the show is like they altered the characters, and in turn like it's like I think they do this with a lot of adaptations like Hollywood where they pretty up the characters
Hey,
and
let
stuff like that.
everybody know that the wolf is live. Those who are in the Discord.
Wolf is very much live and in color.
In living color.
Oh,
I like the fact that at least they make like the thing that bothers me is they make Allison and Rhaenyra the same age, and
Oh,
like
God.
you know, I felt like when Nerdrotic was doing his reviews and like the longer, because I watched the streams, right?
mhm.
Like he didn't go like sure he mentioned that in the short review for like episode 1 and stuff like that, but like he never brought it up again. Like, oh man,
No,
'Cause,
I
like,
agree.
oh-
I agree.
It
it just
First of all,
altered so many things, like the dynamics and things like that. Like Rhaenyra and Allison were like Rhaenyra was like in canon, like in the books, she's like 8 years old, and in and Allison is like 16.
I agree with your analysis, Eloise, and just back to try to follow quick. I'm happy for Matt Smith. I do want him to find success because he is a good actor and I do enjoy watching him. So I'm glad that he's got something that shows off what a good actor he is.
Oh, I also like
For your
Allison's
meal,
actor.
bitch.
Like
That
Allison's actor looks like
Isn't Allison's actor a fucking non-binary?
yeah,
No,
she
that's Rhaenyra's.
Oh, fuck that bitch.
yeah. Yeah.
See, now y'all fucking with history. There ain't no non-binaries in the royal court.
No, but like Rhaenyra isn't. She's playing a character though. She's
I don't
not.
care. They
No,
ain't
they
following
don't.
what the fuck they doing.
No, Rhaenyra isn't. The actor is non-binary, but
I
Rhaenyra,
know.
the character, isn't.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
No, but the actress says, "Well, I'm good at playing a woman." I'm like, "Aren't you a woman?
Yeah.
Bitch, she's still a woman.
You still, yeah." But she says, "I'm good at playing a woman." But I saw her in an interview on YouTube where she's saying, "I don't
There's some
identify
straight up
anything."
delusion right there. Like you're good at playing a bitch. You still got your lady parts. That technically denotes that you're a fucking woman.
Oh my god! Like
You just like
watching,
a label that your people made up for your damn self for the damn
like
self.
watching Allison, like the Olivia. I think I forgot what her name was, but like watching Allison's actor and Rhaenyra's actor interact, like during in the YouTube shorts, and it's like kind of funny because like, Allison's actor is kind of like hesitant.
Yep.
Like I could tell like how she's like, how the hell do I fucking address you? like that's
Really now, you're basically just asking her to fucking sound illiterate. You're basically asking all of us with that type of ideology, that type of nonsense. You're asking people to be fucking illiterate.
like during the interviews, right? And HBO has the YouTube shorts and you see them and it's like she's kind of hesitant. Like she's trying to like Allison's actor is like it seems like they have a better interaction when they're acting though. like, than they do when they're talking to each other. Like the Allison's actor has an easier time acting like interacting with the other actors than with the actress who plays Rhaenyra. like when in the YouTube shorts. Oh, they ruined Dany's character by aging her up too. Like during the time skip that happens in Game of Thrones into the last 2 seasons. During that time skip, like Dany should have matured some more because she had ruled over Meereen for like 5 years, I think, and she was still acting the same.
Well, I'm glad that you are able to see the cracks in the walls when it comes to writing. As I said, when you're doing race swapping or race gendering, the question is why? What is your motivation behind it? If you, like you said, Eloise, if there's a way it can be done, but this show didn't do it in a way that made plausible sense. And I'm saying this out there, that's my rant. That's why 90% of race swapping I do not support. I don't support it because if it is not done in a way that makes sense to the story, it's useless. What is your motivation behind it? What is the reason?
You could just have like black actors voice white characters.
Like, I'm surprised nobody's complaining that Rhaenyra isn't fat enough.
What's his name?
In the books, Rhaenyra is fat, like because she gave birth to a lot of kids in like back to back, and she didn't watch her weight. So like by the time the dance rolls around, she's like, they call her meager with tits for a reason.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah, she's in the books.
Repeat that.
Megor with tits.
Ah, okay.
Maegor with tits. That's what they call her. Like the people in King's Landing, they like rose up in rebellion. Like just imagine this: a whole bunch of people, all the common folk that she looked down upon, because she was heavily influenced by Daemon, to like look down upon non-Valyrians. and all those people like rose up and like killed all the dragons in the dragon pit and everything, and they forced her to like flee. Like-
Final, what were you saying? I'm sorry. He had a. Go ahead.
You can literally have black actors voice white characters. Like, forgot what's his name, but he was the voice of the Joker in the Batman, not the Matt Reeves show, but the animated show from 2003, The Batman,
Mhm.
and he actually pulls it off so well.
Yeah, there's a way you can do that. The king of it, James Earl Jones.
Wait,
I couldn't think of
BBC?
anybody-
What?
Big Black Cock. That's what it stands for. Big Black Cock.
Child of
Nah,
fire.
I didn't think you had it in you. Damn, I think a part of me rubbed off on her.
Somebody said that too. That it's like the reason they did the race swap thing is to show that the reason the kids are bastards is not because it's they are mixed or something. It's because she literally just
Slut around.
yeah, like to make a point.
She got on blacked.
Is it that's what she do on the show,
Oh.
Eloise? Does
But
she have many
yeah,
lovers?
in the books it's hinted that
Did
the
you
books
see a C at the end of those two B's, bro? Did you see an S at the end of those two
Oh
B's?
God!
The fuck that? How the fuck does B? Oh right.
No, okay, but in the
Network.
books, it's assumed Kristen Cole might have had a fling with Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra ended it. And when the marriage thing happened, and Kristen Cole, like they portray that in the show. Then after that, Rhaenyra, like they also show like Daemon taking Rhaenyra to like a brothel. where she tries to like get with her uncle and shit.
Yeah, I heard about that episode. Yeah.
It happened in the book.
Oh, it did. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
This is Game of Thrones we're dealing with.
No, Fire and Blood.
Yeah, that's the reason why they did it differently. In the books, it's like Daemon constantly flirting with Rhaenyra and trying to get with Rhaenyra until eventually they're caught like by one of the other King's Guards, and Kristen Cole feels betrayed.
Rightfully so.
Because like she was having a fling with Kristen Cole, but then she forgets about Kristen Cole and just like. So that's like they got the sequence of events wrong.
Well,
and Kristen Cole hears about it. Kristen Cole gets pissed and just goes sides with Alicent after that. And then after the whole Daemon thing, Daemon gets banished again, but he's banished from the entire Westeros, so he leaves for Essos. And I'm trying to think what else happens.
Girl, it sounds like something that you're enjoying right now.
What? I'm explaining the book sequence, not the show. That's why.
Yeah, that's why I asked her, has she been enjoying it, since everybody is going gaga drooling over the show. So since she does watch it, I was asking her what she thinks of it. Now, personally, and this is,
it's just hard for me to like decide if like I'm just like there are some aspects I really hate about it, and then there are some aspects that I really enjoy. Like I like the scenes with the Greens, because they get the characters right, or they do the characters justice. They even improve upon the characters. Like they do a good job with Otto. They do a good job with Alicent Hightower. Like the scene with Aemon like taming his dragon was the best. and like that's the recent scenes that I thought were really memorable. It's just like when the greens are on screen, it's like the best. And when when Matt Smith is on screen too, it's like the best. He like really carries that as well. But
Man,
when
like
I
a damn
see
orc with
when I see
pale skin.
Rhaenyra or Corlys or Rhaenys
I'm sorry, who
on
finds
screen,
Matt Smith attractive?
Oh.
I will never know. That motherfucker look like a damn vampire in that damn show.
Ladies love British guys.
Yeah.
I don't care. They should.
Maybe he should
I
find.
think-
Maybe this should be his next role. Maybe he
Every
should end up
time
in a
I see
vampire
him
show.
with that white hair, he
He
looking
was
like.
a vampire.
I'm like,
He
you
was
know
a
what?
vampire. He was in Morbius.
Oh yeah,
That
right.
is true.
he
nah,
looks
I'm-
like a rogue. That's the thing I care about. He looks like a rogue, and that's good enough for me.
Well, the thing
Because
is,
he's portraying the rogue prince perfectly, like just a wild card, a loose cannon. And
every
I
time
think once they do the time skip again, where Aemond is older, he's gonna be the foil of Daemon. Like they're gonna foil each other.
I'm looking at him with the right makeup, he could pass off as Kane from Legacy of Kane with that white ass hair, that snowflake hair, that ice cream cone hair, that snow globe hair, that snow angel hair, and all the whites. He got the white around his hair.
Oh, final, you're right about Morbius. In fact, I enjoyed him in Morbius more than I did Jared Leto. I said maybe the movie should have been about his character. He was much
Oh,
more
he should
enjoyable
have
to
been
watch.
Michael Morbius actually.
Yeah, I said maybe Matt Smith should have been Michael Morbius. I enjoyed his performance way more. He was more enjoyable.
Anything else
mean,
you want to
If it weren't
end off
for
with?
if it weren't for one of his co-stars they worked with in Doctor Who, shoot, I already forgot her name. She worked with Matt Smith since Doctor Who as Amy Pond. She was also in Guardians of the Galaxy as Nebula.
Yeah,
That's how she,
Carrie
Yo,
Gillian.
Wolf,
yeah.
that's who.
you see Dread Pirates comment Daenerys, mother of dragons, more
highlighted
like
that
Danny
already.
DeVito, mother of dragons.
I already highlighted that.
Yeah, because it
I just
ain't
saw it
simply
just
without
now.
a freaking Danny DeVito meme.
But that like Rhaenyra essentially turns into that. Like what's it called, that character in I'm Not Starfire?
Oh,
Don't know, don't
yeah.
care.
We do not speak of her name. She's the
I
devil.
don't know
Yeah, she is
her name
definitely- she's
either,
definitely
but
not-
that's essentially what happens to Rhaenyra. She goes from a pretty girl into
She
Oh,
was
I know
already
her
that way in,
name. I'm
Kingdom
not gonna.
Come.
I'm just not gonna say it.
Because the basis of her character, where she comes from, is from Kingdom Come. I know, but she already has a different name in that story in comparison to I'm Not Starfire, because she has a.
Oh no,
different
you
name.
guys saw the comic though. There was a comic where I think it was shared in Ichi's Discord where it just shows Starfire like having a mental breakdown from dealing with the daughter from I'm Not Starfire, and then I forgot Nightwing just like tells her that's not your daughter, that's Clayface. Like they investigate and that's Clayface. Your real daughter is being held somewhere else, and they find her and rescue her.
Was that in one of the expanded materials of Kingdom Come?
No, it's like a short comic explaining the realities of what I'm Not Starfire is. It's basically Clayface pretending to be Starfire's daughter, and Starfire just having a mental breakdown
Mm,
Oh.
from dealing with that.
looking from the revelation.
Yeah.
It's a short fan comic.
Yeah.
I basically made the damn comic itself a lot better. It took a fan comic to make a terrible comic better. That's sad.
Well, and honestly, like makes the short. You have to make short comic. Well, not only better, but they want to see more. Like what happens next after Clayface was captured and Starfire and Nightwing rescued their daughter Nightstar.
That's who their daughter's name is in Kingdom Come?
No, that's her
Her
superhero name.
Her real name is Marie Grayson.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Maddie and I'm not Starfire. Fuck off, dude.
We already have the daughter of Starfire and Nightwing, and that is Marie Grayson, who appeared in Kingdom Come.
Speaking of comic books, anybody ever saw the trailer to Wakanda Forever, the second trailer?
It was on an
No.
advertisement, but I never bothered to watch it because I just don't care. Because
I didn't bother watching it either because they're not gonna catch lightning in a bottle with Black Panther, even though the movie itself wasn't all that good when you stop and really think about it and give it a fair critical analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because the thing is,
Go ahead, Final.
this is going to be like the biggest part of this is actually going to be the biggest part of the stream that Wolf was actually going to be talking about. It's kind of like a bit of the whole reason why you decided to make this event stream.
Well, go
But then
ahead.
I was more so on the side of a disagreement to not even do that, because really, what's the point of doing it anymore? Because we already know the state of Marvel and the state of Disney at this point. It's not even surprising anymore. It's just like, what's the point? Like, I really don't even see any point into doing that, because they keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. I made a comment about this on Santa Graver, where we see this in a lot of popular media, where you see a lot of popular media repeating the same mistakes over and over again. You're like, what's the point? And so now, but then we're left with two things. It's either we go back and rediscover what we've lost from the media that we had from our past, even from our childhood, or pretty much the best way to do it, even what we are basically doing now. We just go,
Press
fuck it,
F
we'll do
to
it
hear the
ourselves.
Wolf vent about Wakanda Forever in the chat.
No, just go, fuck it,
You
we'll do it
cannot
ourselves.
participate.
Well, Final, I agree with you 100%. I think the reason Wolf wants to vent about this because there is something here I think that's more serious to deal with. First of all, I did not watch the trailer once I knew exactly what it was about.
Peekaboo, bitch!
I'm trying to be serious here.
Trying to hide and shit. Pull that box. Now you got, bitch. Let's go.
Greetings, Mark
go.
Mace.
I did not watch it because I didn't need. There's nothing for me to watch because there's no way I'm going to see this movie.
That teaser made look like a fucking advertisement for women shampoo and shit. That shit was hilarious. The second trailer on hand gives more detail, and I'm sitting here thinking like, the fuck is Namor trying to do with Wakanda? You already have a fucking kingdom. Why are you fighting with Wakanda?
Good question.
Look, I have to do a double take on a rewatch on that shit, man. I'm like, I still don't know why you attacking Wakanda.
It doesn't take 2 and 2 for me to figure out why.
Because they want the Mexicans and the blacks fighting each other.
Yep.
Nope. Well, part of it, but that's not the whole reason. Because if you've seen anything or know about anything with Marvel the past few years, you could connect the dots for yourself.
Like, freaking Riri Williams had me dying laughing. Here we go! Oh, fuck off. With your dollar store Iron Man suit and shit. Don't even give me... And I'm sitting here thinking like...
resources to get all that money to create the suit of armor.
I'm like, nah, the thing is, they show Nakia. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing in this movie? This is twice I've seen you stand there on a beach, looking at the screen. The first time was the first trailer. Your ass on a beach, and you looking directly at my ass. The second trailer, you still looking at my ass. What the fuck is you doing? What is you? You trying to be the Black Aowen? Or Arwen? Because that's what that bitch did. Not all the time, but most of the time she was looking at the damn screen.
Title.
I'm like, what the fuck is you doing in this shit? You got all this, you all decked out in this armor and shit, and you looking like sad puppy and all. Like, what the fuck is is you doing, Nakia? You was my favorite in the damn first movie. Yet it seems like they really getting your ass to be side bitch to the real bitch that's wearing the damn armor, which we all know is Shuri. We all know it's Shuri.
Yeah.
We all know.
Exactly.
They try to make it look serious. I'm sitting here laughing on the fucking inside right now. I'm sitting here. I'm like she got this angry looking face and shit. I'm like, would you stop making Letitia Wright making these damn angry faces? It's making me laugh because she still got that cute face.
Likely more so than Rings of Power with Galadriel's face, where her face is more like.
I'm like, bitch, who you scowling at? Who you scowling at?
Well,
Every time she's got that fucking scowling face. I'm like, who you scowling at?
well, I fear Wolf. This is what's going to happen. You liked her in the first film. We're not going to get the same Shuri in this one. They're going to change her. She's going to change. That's why you see her scowling.
I will say that
same character.
And
I will
again,
say
it doesn't take two and two to explain it.
I will say this. I do have some spot of hope for this movie because it might be the game changer. It might take things seriously. We don't know though. But I'm sitting here like, I'm just like,
What do you mean game changer? What do you mean?
where it actually are like, yeah, we're gonna have some of that garden variety bullshit that we're beginning from the MCU, but at the same time, it's like they're actually gonna take it serious because Chadwick Boseman's passing. You know, they're not gonna squander it by doing something stupid like that, like just throwing jokes every damn where and all that.
Okay, I get you there. See, one of my issues is I believe you guys know this, that this was something they had planned all along. It's just unfortunately Chadwick's death sped everything up. I don't believe anything Kevin Feige is saying about why they didn't recast him. I think it was their intention all along to replace him with a female Black Panther. And I do believe when they say this is something he was not in agreement with, he was very upset at this. Because here you had a Black male who was the king of his country, but also was heroic and responsible and the warrior. Everything they're crying that they don't see, he was. So now you're going to take this character away from us, this character that was original. He is not a Black version or second hand-me-down character of an established white hero. He is his own man. And there are many, many, many stories and adventures T'Challa had that they could have told if they wanted to. But I don't think they wanted to do that. And I think that from the get-go, they wanted T'Challa gone. It's just sadly Boseman's death sped everything up. Because he died, it made it faster for them to do what they wanted to do. We all know this is the MCU now, and they're replacing every male character. It's just we used to think it was just the white male characters, but now we see the Black male characters they're replacing too, unless they are a second hand-me-down character.
I
Black
already
Falcon.
saw that shit coming a
Yeah.
mile away. They want to sing the praises of Black men all damn day, but when it comes down to when it comes down to whoever it is that they're championing next, somebody's going to get sacrificed on the chopping block. You can easily see it all the time when it comes to this whole inclusivity bullshit that they keep pushing.
Mhm.
So they start by with the Black people, then they move on to the Mexicans, then they move on to the women, then the Asians, then back to women, and then you get to the LGBT and all that stuff. It's like they like when it comes to the whole preaching that they do, they tend to just cast somebody aside in favor of another. They're not inclusive. They're not all about that equality and all that stuff. It's only equality of convenience or what's convenient to you. And it's usually by white people. These sad ass white people. Rein in if you want to, Dominic. I know you know I'm right. There's some truth into what I'm saying, right? We've witnessed this shit. We've observed it.
Undoubtedly.
Oh yeah. Also, what Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics, not what they don't realize is by utilizing T'Challa in such a way, they are disrespecting Jack Kirby because he is one of Jack's creations.
Agreed.
My main gripe is M'Baku.
Oh
Twice,
yeah, yeah,
twice they
mayonnaise.
only showed. Yeah, twice they only showed him in one scene in both trailers. I'm saying like, oh yeah, this motherfucker gonna die. They gonna kill him off. I
Yeah.
know it. I I I'm not gonna. I have no plans to see it, but my pregame prediction, he gonna die. Shuri's gonna be the next Black Panther. It's gonna be Nakia. I know they're probably gonna get rid of Okoye. I know for a fact they're gonna get rid of Okoye.
She's too feminine. They got to get rid of her.
I mean, they might keep her. They who knows? They might keep her, but my gut instincts say that they might get rid of Okoye to put her, or rather, they probably gonna kill. In fact, the reason why I keep seeing Nakia single by herself, that I'm guessing she's gonna end up dying, and Okoye is gonna stay. Do y'all even know who Nakia is?
No, I don't. Who is you mean the queen?
No, the
The
spy.
ambassador? Oh yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, that yeah, that was prediction. Probably so.
That's
I
my
think
pregame prediction on
yeah,
her.
yeah, that's
She might
possibility.
end up dying because they ain't really showing her doing anything at all. I mean, they don't even show much of these women doing anything. Period. Like the Queen Mother is mostly handling this diplomacy. They don't really speak on how T'Challa died, which is quite interesting if you ask me.
I did hear a rumor of how he's going to die. I don't know if I can say it here, but Namor has got something to do with it.
Of course, it has something to do with it.
It would have been better if T'Challa was recasted as both Chadwick and his brother have said in the past.
I
If anything,
want him to
if
be
anything were
recast.
yeah, because again, like if anything were to happen to him, like he would want the character to continue. Yeah, so if he well, even though like he died, like he wants to see T'Challa continue to thrive in this incarnation of the Marvel universe.
Just gotta get a load of how they want to respect everybody's spaces, but they don't even want to respect the damn dead's wishes. That's fucking insane.
What it is, Dominic, you're right. He said he said that character should continue. It was important for that character to continue long after he was gone. He did not like the idea of Shuri replacing him as the Black Panther. He said the Black Panther himself, T'Challa, should have continued, and I agree. He should have been recast. I know we were mourning, but I think it's been what 2 years, 3 years after the film, after the movie, or after Endgame. And I think it was time. I would have to say, okay, we've got to look for a new character, a new actor, because you want to keep that character going. And I agree with you. Him and his brother. The brother doesn't like what they're doing because I noticed the family's been really quiet. The brother does not like the fact is is that the fact that this is the decision that they're making. And one reason is because Chadwick understood the importance of T'Challa. That's what, no matter how you felt about the Black Panther movie, Chadwick understood the importance of that character. And that's the sad part. People are just too blind to see it because they're so hungry.
Let me add into what you're saying, and or at least let me add in my perspective on this one, which is really daunting. And I'm not saying that this is what they're thinking, but to me, it's like for you to say that's important. Really, it's really important for Black men too.
Oh
It's
yes.
like when you really think about it, Black men, you're basically removing a Black character for Black men to aspire to.
I
So
agree
for them
100%.
to have him being replaced by Shuri, it's like you're basically saying, "Oh, we don't yeah, we know he's dead, but we're not gonna recast him. So you guys don't get get a Black man to look up to. You already got Captain America. It's the woman's turn this time to shine, and we all and you got the fair songs. Well, it happened in the comics, bitch. Shuri was Queen Regent when he was away. She took care of Wakanda when he had to leave Wakanda.
That's correct.
that throne
Yes.
was not meant for her to rule forever. She
Yes.
ruled in his stead.
Yes.
But the thing is, the problem with Shuri in the MCU currently is the fact that they're portraying her like she's this young and brash teenager. So I'm sitting here thinking like okay, this is that's the problem here. Letitia Wright does not look queenly. No offense to her.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I like that actress. She badass in
Mhm.
whatever role she's in, and she gave herself to the good Lord. So she all right in my book.
And she's also pretty based in real life.
That's another
Yes.
thing. But I'm sorry, but you know, she does not look. She looks royalty mostly in due part that she looks like a princess first and foremost. But for her to rule in her stead, the way how they portray her in the first movie and in Endgame and Infinity War, I'm sorry, but no, I don't see the Shuri that rules in T'Challa's stead the way she does in the comics. I see Letitia Wright's version of Shuri, mostly the wisecracker and jokester.
Good observation. No, I agree with you 100%. That's why I think they're going to change her. You people are going
Then
to
on
go to
top
this
of that,
movie going, that's not the Shuri we fell in love with.
then
It's
on
just
top
like,
of that, the flowers are burnt. So not only she's not going to have the powers of the Black Panther, she can't communicate with Bass at all. So I'm like, okay. Then on top of that, you gave her a different move set in the first movie. So I'm sorry, I'm not going. I cannot see her flipping around cutting up people with her damn claws the way how T'Challa did. You gonna spin my face, motherfucker? Where are you?
that's why they are going, mark my words, I believe they are going to change her. They're going to give her, how should I say this? What's the best way for me to say this? Um, uh,
Would you
what's
get out of my
feminine
space?
and brave? What do they usually say? Stunning and brave treatment.
Yeah, there we go.
That's that they're going to give her the stunning and brave treatment
Don't
to
y'all
get
speak
her
at once.
to
Y'all can
that
all die
level.
at once though.
So when people go into this movie, which I have no plans to see, I'm not interested in it, but those that go in will notice she's not the same person that we met in those films. Just like
They're
T'Challa,
not doing a good job of showing off Namor either at
no.
all.
Well,
All
I
he's
don't.
doing is looking intimidating. I mean, he's flooding Wakanda. I don't know what his plan on flooding Wakanda on that aspect, but all I'm seeing him is doing is making angry faces all the damn time. Here's another thing: he's copy paste Black Panther, except he's underwater.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so not only does it's the Adore Milaje doing most of the work than the men are, which is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Last impression I saw was those bitches getting knocked around by fucking rhinos, and you expect me to believe that they're gonna be the ones fighting the damn Atlanteans, which is also made up a bunch of women. I'm like, oh, so it's a cat fight war, okay?
Well, it goes back. I'm going to jump back a little bit to what you just said about.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to go. It's like I can barely talk. It's nighttime.
Oh well.
Okay, Sleepy Brown.
Thank you for spending some time with us anyway, and your comments about House of the Dragon. So thank you for that.
Oh, see you, everyone.
See you. Have
See
a
you,
good evening,
Eloise.
Eloise.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good
She
night.
sounds so tired. I'm concerned.
Well, maybe she's been up all day.
Mhm.
I was gonna, yeah. I hope she gets a good night's rest. I was gonna go back to what you said about black males. I'm noticing a lot of that, and I'm not gonna stay on this because you're brown to if you want to. I'm noticing a lot of that in films and television that males to look up to are disappearing. In The Woman King, there are none. All of the black men basically are cooked in that film. The women rule over them. Lots of the more
Funny that the warriors in the Woman King trailer, despite that in actual history, they are fucking savages.
yes, and they tried to.
But yeah,
pass
they
them
like
off
to portray them
heroes.
as like the heroes.
Yeah, they wanted to portray them as the
Can you get off me?
final. That was something they were hoping nobody would find out. I hate to bring this up, and I'll say this
Everybody
in the nicest
freeze.
way.
I need time to breathe.
I say this in the nicest way, but they know this generation doesn't read a lot. So they tried to present that movie as these women are heroes. That's why
It's
Viola
written by a
Davis.
white woman too. It's
Yes,
funny.
Yeah.
it is.
How ironic is that?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to letting the white people
But
write your movies, writing POC characters?
Disney took those messed up fairy tales and then they made them happy. Okay, bitch. Walt Disney made them happy because he did it for his daughters. He did it for his country. He's a countryman.
Mhm.
Even in the
Exactly.
Disney Renaissance, from 1989 up till the year 2000, they still believed in everything that Walt Disney stood for. Nowadays, nope.
Because they hate Walt Disney.
I'm over here wasting my
To them,
damn
Walt
health.
Disney is just another white man that has to be destroyed. So they're doing it because they want to hate the ideology of and social of Walt Disney, and that's why they're doing that. But with the
RJ's last video hit it on the head. They're trying to gaslight us, especially gaslight us and trying to rewrite our memories by rewriting the history.
yeah, they basically want to rewrite the 20th century. That's what they're trying to do. You're right.
Oh,
You're
you got some
absolutely
dodging
right.
abilities? Okay. Freeze, bitch.
And final, what I
Dodge
think,
that.
final is, and I'm going to try to say this in the most delicate way.
Stomp,
They're
stomp,
playing
stomp,
on the
stomp.
ignorancy of this generation. Doesn't, let's say they don't read as much as they did me when I was growing up. So they're playing on the ignorancy that if we present these women of the Women King as heroes, if we play this as a heroic tale, they're not going to know about it. They don't care as long as we play. And that's what they did. They rewrote these villains as heroes, and I'm not shocked by that because that seems to be the social norm in Hollywood now.
Freeze,
is
bitch.
Villains are the good guys, and they figured they're not. And particularly, and we'll say this, particularly in the Black community, they're not going to pay attention to that. So they basically play
Don't take my power. Don't take my power.
the ignorancy of Black people in hoping that they're not going to know about it. That's why Viola Davis made that absolute ignorant comment, which I was just like, why? And I've always respected her as an actress. So I said, why in the world would she say such an ignorant, and it was an ignorant comment.
How the hell you came from the help to this bullshit?
Yeah. Ignorant comment to us as consumers that if we don't see her film, we don't support Black women, we don't support, this. And like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What do you mean we don't support Black women? I watched How to Get Away with Murder, but I watched it because the acting was good. But oh, excuse me, I guess that's not good enough. There's no reason for her to make such an ignorant statement. But that's what they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And Wolf isn't wrong. So here now you have a character like T'Challa. Like you said, there could have been a Black character for them to look up to, and they're taking him away.
Die, fat bitch, die.
We should be more angry about that than we really are.
Get off me! Get off me! Get your baby ass off me!
But I think the marketing for
told your ass I ain't having no babies. I ain't not paying child support at all. I'm dead.
Did they really have to race swap Namor? Did he really have to become an Aztec god?
You guys missed a good opportunity to have a white dude try to invade a damn Black country. I find that fucking hilarious. You missed a golden opportunity to make a fucking Greek try to invade Africa. Because that's how I see Namor, as a Greek mostly, because he's Atlantean. Atlantis is mostly Greek or Atlantean, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He literally has wings on his ankles. He literally has Hermes' feet.
I will give them this. They did make the wings work. Somehow they made the fucking wings work. These motherfuckers just keep coming.
Do you think? But the sad reality is, and I heard this in another woman's stream, I forgot who it was that said this, a lot of kids are going to take this as canon.
Yes, they are.
They are going to think that is exactly the way the Marvel stories are to be told. They are completely oblivious and will be oblivious to what the true stories are. And they know what they're doing. That's the whole point of doing this. That Disney knows exactly what it's doing.
That's why they're getting
Why show kids the sex? In fact, Wolf, what's the common reaction kids react to when reacting to something like love or sex?
We cover our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Give me your
exactly
shit,
that.
bitch.
They always were like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't want to hear
Ew.
that.
Yeah.
No kid wants to hear that.
Yeah.
What kind of sick fuck are you for doing that?
What are you gonna do? Talk about how
Yeah,
your
man.
parents do that shit
Like,
too?
they're not old. Come on, they're not old enough. Like they're not old enough to know these things.
Exactly. So then why are you showing them, like, imagine a kid in school like, Jaina has two moms, Jaina has two moms. You realize what kind of thing that would have on that, like that, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oz
I agree.
in the Night's Watch actually said this said about this with Chris Evans's outburst with Lightyear.
What?
He basically it was after Chris Evans's outburst with
Yeah.
Lightyear,
Oh.
and it's where they
Shit, bitch.
say Chris Evans called everybody idiots for not saying that progressivism as the side of morality, despite human history showcasing that it isn't. Look at World War II or communist Russia
Okay,
during the Cold War.
you want to show down, bitch? Now you die.
Progressivism,
Sit your ass down.
like
Sit your ass
used to
down.
have a
Sit your ass down. Sit
progressivism
your
used to have a
ass
positive
down.
connotation. However, it no longer does because it's been perverted.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have like a lot of things that what happened in communist Russia or Nazi Germany, because that's exactly
Or
what
China.
happened. Yeah, even China.
Well, I agree with both of you.
I like you better when you're on your knees, unlike
Oh
you
my
on your
lord.
feet.
You don't realize what you're saying here, Wolf. But anyway,
You don't know what I'm dealing with right now. You'll get the context.
I get the
Hey,
context.
get off me! Get the fuck off me!
Schizophrenia kids
I
know the
said get the
signs.
lips off me, damn it!
If anyone acts exactly like that guy that's in the upper corner,
I didn't give consent, bitch.
there, this guy up there yelling like that alone in the room, call the police. He definitely would need some help.
I'm gonna send you to Child Protective Services.
Children
Anyway,
do not need.
as
Go
Wolf
ahead.
as Wolf is fighting off the monsters in Dead Space, continue what you were saying, Leia.
Yeah, I was gonna go along with you guys. Children is like Final is right, and they do not need to be exposed to sex, sexuality. They don't need any of that, but yet they're flooding it in cartoons. They're flooding it into kids shows. They're putting it into movies, and that, of course, the news about Velma from Scooby Doo. Now they decided Velma from Scooby Doo should be a lesbian. You think kids? When I watched Scooby Doo, I never thought about who was sleeping with who. I just wanted to see if they're gonna solve the crime. This is when I was
Hey, the canon coupling of Velma is Johnny Bravo. That's a
Mhm.
real boyfriend. Fuck Shaggy.
If
Bravo Doobie Doo was a crossover that we didn't know at the time that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If
I
you're that
remember
kind of
that. Well,
person who would thinks, oh, I wonder who's gonna be sleeping with who's he gonna, what kind of fetishes does he have? You need some help.
Get off me!
Yeah, that's the reaction. Like that guy's reaction, his scream.
I said I didn't give consent. Why you kissing
that's
up on
something
me?
like that.
The kids today.
Yeah, like that. You see, like that, something like that. You sister need some huge help.
The children today, I feel so sorry
In
for.
fact, kids don't even get exposed to sexuality and know about it until they hit the age of 13.
When we're kids and they see their parents smooching or talk about smooching, they run out the room where they go, "Ew, mom, come on. Nobody wants to see that." That's
Exactly.
the way. Yeah, that's the way when I was a kid. I'm like, "Oh, come on, mom, don't talk about that. Nobody wants to hear that." They have no interest in that whatsoever. So I was trying to read Neil Starr's comments because he's making some good ones there. So the children, I feel for them because they're not allowing them to be children. Do they like kids? I think it's because their childhoods were not picture perfect doesn't mean they have to ruin it for everybody else.
Exactly.
Just because,
exactly why.
Yeah. Just because the guy's Velma was always gay. They don't have to. Well, they're really putting it in now. They don't have to ruin it for everybody else because they didn't have a happy childhood, or maybe something traumatic happened in their childhood. Who knows that now they think everybody's childhood has to be like that. That's what I don't like, and they're not for kids. Leave the kids out of it. So my heart breaks for them because, like you said,
Just let kids be kids, for
yes,
God's sake.
let them be children. I said the other day, little girls don't play with Barbie anymore. They don't, because they're teaching them to be more like little boys. I'm seeing it before my very eyes now.
Now they want Barbie to look like every other dude or every other thing. Next thing you know, that bitch is gonna be having BLM T-shirts and Pride Month T-shirts and all the like. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you stand for anymore? You used to be a hard-working bitch, man. You used to run for president. You used to you used to be a dentist, a daycare center teacher, and all that. You used to be all that, man. You were a role model for girls. You didn't need to do all that shit for. You did not. You need. Oh wow, I'm stubborn. Wow, I'm so upset about Barbie. Y'all just don't know. I don't even. I barely.
You
I
don't.
don't even.
You
I
you don't
barely
want to hear.
play with Barbies to not even know what she did to contribute to society. She was a like now those Barbie movies are gonna be fucking irrelevant.
Yeah, and I hate that. You're upset. I've been collecting Barbie for a long time, and I even notice now it's not what it used to be anymore. And for me, when I was a kid, I always looked forward to playing with Barbie. It was about playtime, using my imagination and creating things and doing her hair. Those are the those are the things
Got
that
a
I love.
friend in me.
And I don't know, you guys noticed they've got her looking more uglier than she used to be.
Oh my
I wish
goodness!
I've
Don't
got
even
to
get me
show you.
started.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the whole purpose of playing with toys. Hell, that's even the entire purpose for Legos.
yeah. Your imagination and creativity, because I played with them too when I was a kid, because I liked how you know my parents didn't have to worry about us because we found things to do. When we played with our toys, it was to use our imagination, whether I was playing with
Come here.
Barbie or Legos, because I like building and making things myself. Those were such fun times, and kids don't have that anymore. Kids are not adults. They are
They don't.
children.
Well, the thing is, they don't want the children to be children. They want to be adults.
Yeah, I agree with you. They want them to think like adults, they want them to talk like adults, they want them to act like adults, and they are not. They are kids. They have to grow there. They have to develop into that. And it's your job as a parent to direct them and teach them on how to, when they become adult in society. But now the things they put on them is just, I really feel for them because of them
Adults,
trying to treat them
the
like that.
adults that want to do their job, they're not allowed to do, and the ones that don't do their job, they're praising
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that
because
awful?
they let their children run around the house and run down house themselves, which is oh my goodness. I wish I would try to be the boss of my mom's house. I would let me try to be the boss of my mom's house at 5 years old.
You know, I can't
Let
tell
me
you.
let me try to tell my mom that
You want to teach boys how to be
that I could be
adults?
transgender. She'll slap me across my damn
You
lips.
really want to teach boys how to be adults? You want to teach boys how to be adults? Here's how. Allow me to read you this. A false notion of manliness leads boys astray. True manliness is humane. It says, "We who are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak." It's a it work its work is to protect those who cannot defend themselves, to stand between the tyrant and the slave, the oppressor and his victim. It is identical in all times with the spirit of chivalry which led the good knights to wander in search of robbers, giants, and tyrannical lords, those who oppressed the poor and robbed helpless women and orphans of their rights. There are no tyrants and barons now, but the spirit of tyranny and cruelty is still to be found. The good knight today is he who provides help for the blind, the deaf and dumb, the insane, who defends animals from cruelty, from being cruelly treated, rescues little children from bad usage, and seeks to give working women their rights. He protects all the sufferers from that false manliness which is brutal to the weak. The true knights today are those who organize to prevent cruelty or to enforce laws against those who, for a little gain, make men drunkards. The giants and dragons today are those cruelties and brutalities which use their power to ill-treat those who are at their mercy. True manliness is tender and loving. False manliness is cold and hard, cynical and contemptuous. The bravest and most epic heroes are usually the most loving. Garibaldi, Kossuth, Mazzini, the heroes of our times. Luther, who never feared the face of man. Gustavus Adolphus and William of Orange are examples of this union of courage and tenderness, bold as lions in the defense of the right. Such men in their homes and their private life have a womanly gentleness. False manliness is unfeeling, with no kindly sympathies, rude and rough and overbearing. True manliness is temperate. It is moderate. It exercises self-control. It is capable of self-denial and renunciation. False manliness is self-willed and self-indulgent.
That was a beautiful final. Where is that from? As a final poetry
A
moment.
man chooses, a slave obeys.
Where is that? Who is the author of that final?
The poem is True Manliness by James F. Clarke.
Well said and very appropriate. Neil Starr, he makes a good point. Yeah, they cannot or they refuse to produce children, so they try to indoctrinate other kids instead. Amen on that. And that's a crime. We should be more outspoken about that, but yes, we sit back and we just ignore it.
Not to mention, these like minorities within a minority. They're setting people who happen to be part of the gay demographic back by 20 to 30 years.
I agree 100% on that, Dominic. Oh, that's nice to hear, Child of Flower. I didn't think kids still had Barbie time. So that's nice to hear. That's the way I was. And see, it never left because I collect now. But when I was young, and I'm going to get back to Dominic's comic, but I was a kid, my mom did not have to worry about me because she could say, I can sit her in a room with her Barbies and she will be in there playing all day long. And that's what I would do. And I enjoyed it very much. And I loved it. And I don't see now they just try to steer girls away from it. I'm seeing it and they're making the dolls ugly. I was in the store the other day collecting, say, why are the Barbies starting to look ugly? They're starting to look absolutely atrocious. And they're making Ken more effeminate. It just doesn't make any sense. So mostly I've been collecting classic Barbies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s because Barbie looks more feminine back then than she does now. So
even then, they would have some Barbie films where Barbie's portrayed as the hero. I mean, the Barbie film that I remember watching from childhood along with my sister was Barbie and the Three Musketeers. I think that's when it was.
Yeah, there was a Barbie and the Three Musketeers. Yes, I saw that. Yeah. There were Three Musketeers. There was someone where they were superheroes. There was another one. It was cute. And with that movie, they had dolls to go with it. But they were pretty. It was the cutest little set, too. They were in the Three Musketeers outfit, but they still were designed to be feminine. So they now
all cartwheels and backflips and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
That one of my favorite Barbie movies. Besides the Nutcracker.
Yes, that was cute.
Yeah, that's another Barbie film I remember from childhood.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that as well.
Terrible CGI.
It was terrible CGI, but the doll that came with it,
Freeze, bitches.
Is very pretty. The doll that they made out of it is very pretty.
There's also Barbie in Swan Lake.
Oh yeah.
I got those too.
I didn't see that one.
was a very pretty collection. When they made those movies, they came out with for collectors dolls made from
Funny
it, and they were
enough,
very pretty.
I didn't watch that Barbie Nutcracker movie by choice. My sister, back when we had rental movies and all that shit, I got in trouble with my dad, so I was in a way kind of TV grounded. So like when he took me and my sister to go rent some movies, I was barred from renting movies for now. So she ended up picking Charlie's Angels and Barbie and the Nutcrackers, and she watched it, so I had to sit there and watch it with her.
What,
I was like,
the early
I made
2000s
this
Charlie's
bed,
Angels or the TV show Charlie's Angels?
or the movie,
Mm,
the
early
first movie
2000s. Yeah, the early
Oh.
2000s.
before we got the sequel.
Yeah, early
Oh.
2000s Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, you mean one with Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the one you watched. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. All right, that one.
We
The first.
both watched that, but she also watched the Nutcracker. I was like, that wasn't too bad.
Well, that's a good way of you looking at it, because I know that had to be sheer torture sitting through all that girly stuff. Poor you. That
No,
wasn't
no.
punishment.
Like I said, I made that bed, so I slept in it.
Okay.
I was like my dad was pissed off. I was fucking up in school, so it's like that was my punishment. I like, okay, I made this bed, I sleep in it.
But they were, yeah, they were fun, and we used to get catalogs. I used to always look forward to the holiday season, because that's when they would give the list of the dolls that were coming out. And when I was a
Nightmare.
child, and I would go ahead and pick out which ones that I liked. Excuse me. And they were always pretty and always feminine. And they did have Child of Flower. All these DVD movies you saw, they came out with collectible dolls based on, and they were very pretty. In real life, they were very pretty. They weren't sloppily done. They did a good job recreating the costumes. In fact, Child of Flower, I have the Princess and the Pauper dolls based on that DVD. But they would have been cheesy. The CGI was probably bad, but it was fun. And it was feminine, and Barbie was doing, she had adventures. She had different adventures playing different characters. Now they just masculine her up or made her ugly, or Barbie's about being president.
They're eliminating the feminine figure and giving her more anatomically correct proportions. Like that was ever a big concern for you motherfuckers.
Well, see, that's coming from women who are unhappy with their own selves. That is where that's coming from.
It's not anatomically correct. They're oh shit.
they're unhappy. I mean, you
You're
don't
laying
see
there. I knew you was a lie, and yeah, I ran right into you. I'm in the middle of talking. I got too excited.
I don't see ever men, boys complaining about G.I. Joe. So why did they want to say that about Barbie?
No man ever complain about his own shit. That's the funny thing. It's the women that start that shit back in the days. It's crazy how we never complain about our own shit. I guess if a feminist ever heard me say that, it's like, that's because you didn't have to worry about that. You're a man. You created everything. No, we did not.
No, we
Not
didn't.
everything. Look into the history. We didn't
That's
create
on
everything.
you.
Yeah.
And it's funny how they trying to be all empowered and all that stuff and all that. Yeah, you can't make shit for yourselves, can you? You cannot make your own shit for yourselves aside from beauty salons. You can't even get together any women to create an engineering firm or have the all female firefighting brigade or whatever you want to call it. You can't even you can't even build your own all female y'all give me an example of something that men made that women couldn't decide to do their own versions of it.
Like they couldn't do Anyway, I'm trying to think here.
I got one. You couldn't even come up with your own all female. Hell, like if you got a problem with the police, you couldn't come up with your own all female police department and show the man how it's really done, or show the man how to properly handle a suspect. You couldn't even think of any experimentation except you want to impose on some dumb shit onto us because you're putting the responsibility on us.
Exactly. Well,
show us the alternative. Why don't you enlighten us if you want to since you want to use those buzzwords like enlighten, empower, and all that good shit.
Well, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was not created by a woman; it was created by a man.
And several
Who is in
women.
a polyamorous relationship with 2 women.
Yes.
They helped a little. No, you stay out there. You ain't catching this train.
Oh goodness! I thought you meant.
That's the third time you motherfuckers crept up on my ass. That's the third time. I ain't dropping no motherfucking soap today.
Call the police on this guy.
Oh, I
He
don't.
seems to need some help.
3 times these motherfuckers crept up behind me when I focus on one thing. I'm like, nah. I'm getting on this damn train. Fuck this shit. And he walked away like okay. Just straight walked away like okay. He I guess we're not playing tonight. I was hoping you were gonna kill me.
Well, also Wonder Woman, but also example right now, She-Hulk, and a lot of people don't know this, was created by Stan Lee, and I forgot the man who drew her, but they
Jack Kirby? No. Wait, no, not Jack Kirby.
It was, I can't forget the other person that drew her, but
I know John Byrne did She-Hulk for a while.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he had responsibility. So basically, men are responsible for She-Hulk, and no more do you get more of this feminist BS garbage than the She-Hulk.
And John Buscema.
John Buscema, yes.
His,
But
his,
go ahead.
his name is John Buscema.
John Buscema.
He was one of the artists that drew her.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Now, I think the reason that the writers, these woke, I'm sorry, I keep using the word woke, but I'm trying to find a word to express my anger, but these cackling hag writers, these phony stolen valor writers of She-Hulk, you really see it more with them. They don't like the character of Jennifer Walters. They have so badly ruined that character with that show. They have destroyed that character.
And by everything that they all wanted, and then some.
Mm-hmm. And the reason they did it is because they hate her. Let's face it. Jennifer Walters is hot as She-Hulk. She's hot. She's feminine.
So,
she's funny.
So for her to be very appealing to them, they have to make her just like every other sad ass bitch out there.
Pretty much, Wolf. You said it.
I find it so ironic that
she's only fine if she speaks their cat lady language.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was about to say, if I want to bring up mythology, Joan of Arc from medieval Europe, and I find it so ironic. I think one of the YouTubers said that, but I remember saying this on one of Sound Engraver streams on Rings of Power, where there seems to be this obsession where they're trying to make every single female knight into Joan of Arc. But then I said, Joan of Arc is not a woman of color. Yes, she's a French ambassador, but here's the thing. She is a woman of God. When you look at any of her inspirational quotes, she's always saying that it always says that she is a woman of God, because in the mythology, the whispers in her ears were actually the archangels. But a lot of people mistook that for the demons, and that's why she was burnt at the stake. Mm-hmm. And isn't it so ironic that they make every single female knight stray away from Joan of Arc from being the whole woman of God, and yet even God himself is even displeased from this. Even Joan of Arc herself would be displeased from this if she were still around by this time.
She'd be freaking horrified at the way they're depicting her visage.
Mm-hmm. Not even Christ himself. Good Lord.
He wouldn't like it either. Well, because found out the reason is they don't know the history of Joan. They don't bother. They're too lazy. That's too much work. They're just focusing on the fact she was a warrior. They
I don't think it's too much work. I just think that they're only in love with their idea of Joan of Arc.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they here's the thing, guys. Y'all think that they're not doing the research. Y'all think that they're not looking things up. Oh, I'm pretty sure they are looking at the research. I'm sure they're looking at the history. They just choose to omit it because it goes against what their what the image of that character looks to them. So of course, in their mind, any woman of history is a woman that was challenging the patriarchy at the time. No, they weren't. If they even would you stop spitting in my face, motherfucker?
Even
Or
Antigone.
huck a loogie at my ass.
Even
Who the fuck
Antigone
is you?
in the Greek mythology, she's Oedipus's daughter. Because yes, I've actually been looking up the great Greek myths that you actually recommended to me, Leia.
And I
Oh
ran
yeah,
out of them.
yeah, and also if you can find, I gotta get
Right,
the
I'm gonna
title
head
of that
out.
show.
Y'all take care. That's you guys. These guys. Bye.
Oh, I'm about to say bye, good night. But continue, fine. I don't want to miss you up, but there is a streaming show called Great Greek Myths. I hope I'm getting the title right,
Yeah.
but okay. But
Because
go
it's
ahead.
actually free to watch on YouTube, and I've actually watched that. There've been actually 4 episodes that I've watched recently. The first episode I watched was on Aphrodite,
Oh
and then the
yeah.
second one was on Cupid and Psyche, or actually Eros and Psyche, because that's his
Mhm.
actual name in the Greeks. Then the third was Oedipus Rex, the tragedy of Oedipus
Been
Rex.
very, very generous with the damn health packs.
And then the fourth one, which is actually the final episode of that, was Antigone, which is Oedipus Rex's daughter,
hmm
because Oedipus Rex had 4 children.
Antigone. Her name is Antigone.
Antigone,
Yeah.
that's who it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, she actually denied. Forgot who it was though, because I've just recently seen that whoever was in charge of power after her brothers died. Both of her brothers died,
Mhm.
and yet they were about to give the funeral to the original king of Thebes, but then his brother was sent to be just rotting out there in the grave to just be eaten by the wolves. But then she denied that, but yet he didn't even care, because he said that's already law, but that's the unwritten law. That's not the law written by the gods. And
Right.
so,
Go ahead.
and yet, so when she actually buried one of her brothers who was actually dead, laying on the ground during the battle, she was then sent away to rot in prison to wait to death. But the guards hesitated to do this. But then this is also left a pretty sad ending. But yet also, because that was the end of the Greek mythology, but that's also where history began.
You're absolutely correct. What is the name of the channel? Final, it's on YouTube, Child of Flower. If you type in Greek, I think it's called Great Greek Myths or Greek Mythology. Sometimes I get the title mixed up. You should be able to find it.
Yeah,
I'll
the
see if
Great
I'm gonna
Greek
try.
Where you
myths.
at?
Yeah,
Where
the
you
Great
at?
Greek Myths. What
Oh,
did
there
you
you are.
Fido, what did you think of how it was how it was told, with Ian Holmes narrating and the storytelling style? Did you like the way they did it, or the simple animation that was used to tell the story, or what did you think of it, what you saw so far?
I absolutely liked how it was actually portrayed. I like how they actually does show the paintings
I
and
see you,
statues of the
motherfucker.
Greek myths, of the Greek pantheon, especially with this. But then showing the animation, which is entirely just silhouettes, it looks so good.
Doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. Did it not just suck you in? I mean, I like binge that thing because but it was simple, but it had such a punch, because look how much you remembered from it. I mean, really, it gave me a whole
Just
different outlook.
it's entirely silhouettes. Like, this is
Yeah.
actual mythology. We don't actually see actors. This is entirely silhouettes. There's no voice acting aside from the narration from Ian Holm. It's just Ian telling the story to
I'm
you,
low
and yet we
on
see the
ammo.
animations of the
That's not good.
silhouettes, and yet this is already telling the story. This is the myth. This is the legends. This is all the story.
Yeah, when I watched it, I felt like I was sitting by a campfire and listening to him tell me the story. And when I watched that, this has told me this is how storytelling used to be. Because, like you
This is
said,
how we do
this is this is told in a purest way. It's not a Disney-fied version. It's not a Hollywood version. It is
This
exactly
is
the
how
way
we
the
do
story is
it.
told.
It's Friday night, and I
I-
feel alright.
say it, but it's-
Party's all over the west side.
Yeah, sad to say, it's not like the Disney version of Hercules.
It's
Like
not.
as good as that movie is,
Mhm.
I too even like that movie. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I like it
That's
too.
Disney
actually a
fan
better
fiction.
Yeah, it's actually funny enough. It's actually the greatest portrayal of a Superman movie. That movie, Hercules.
Yeah, I like the. I like the.
I'll
I like it
be
too.
the odds.
Us-
I can go the
oh, this-
distance.
And oh yeah, Child of the Flowers comment said about the Great Creek Mist, which shows the playlist. Yeah, that's the one.
yeah, that's it right there. I agree with you, but I'm just saying I like how it tells it from the basics of how these mythologies and why these stories have lasted for so very long. And the Antigone story is very interesting because what she did, I think it was
Hi to
she
you
she
too, motherfucker.
she felt her brother would not make it to the
Now sit your ass
afterlife
down.
if he doesn't get a proper burial. But
Mhm.
I think it's like you said, you that scream right when I said burial.
Motherfucker, kill me.
The king would not bend the rules for this burial, but she said that
I get
anyone that
enough
tries to
death
do
face
it,
for
of
tonight.
course, would get punished, and her punishment was being locked up in a cave for the rest, till she died. But she went out to give him she believed that he deserved a decent burial, but most of all, she defied the gods because she said, well, if he doesn't get this, he won't have. I think the afterlife was another issue, and that he won't have the burial that he deserved. So that's what
Yeah,
makes
because
that so
if he were just to be out rotting in the ground, then he's
Yeah.
gonna wander around the underworld forever without rest.
Right, right. And she did not want that. Yeah, so that's why but what she did, that question is she had a faith, but that faith was not into the gods. If I'm correct about that, because her faith was the tradition. I'm mumbling because I'm trying to make sure I get the understanding of exactly what Antigone represented. But I think it had something to do with defying the king who
It's the ability to
couldn't.
question the powers that control us.
Right, right. Because the king was that her father or her uncle? Her father. It was he was some
I
type
think
of
it was her
relative.
uncle. Her father was Oedipus.
Right, but he was the uncle. But the fact that he could not simply say, well, since you're my daughter, in his stubbornness and pride, because I would just say, well, let her go ahead and bury him. But he was just extremely stuck on, we have to keep this tradition. The tradition is that because I forgot what his crime was, that he must not have a decent burial. Like you said, his body was to rot out into the city. And like you said, it's the question, it's the ability to question the authority and what is told to us. So that's what I take away from that. But I just wanted to ask
Oh
you, how did
my
you like it overall?
goodness.
There's so many more stories there. Wait till you get about the ill.
Don't tell me that's what they're
Ilad.
calling the new Walker Texas Ranger movie. I mean, show.
What's it called? Woman King Walker Texas Ranger or
Walker Independence. And the first thing I see is a fucking girl. You see, this is some bullshit. Like this is what you're thinking to uplift women with terrible self-esteem issues. Put
yeah,
a
well,
woman
they're
in the
gonna.
center. Put Walker on the end because I see this person look like he's supposed to be Walker. Who the fuck is playing as
Well,
Walker?
y'all know the rule. Y'all know the rule. The man got to stay behind, and the woman has to be in the front. The man has to stay in the back.
Wait. This ain't Walker Texas Ranger. This is Walker Independence. Abby Walker's husband is murdered before her eyes. On her quest for revenge, Abby crosses paths with Hoyt Rollins. Abby and Hoyt's journey take them to Independence, Texas, where they encounter residents running from their own pasts. And it's by the CW.
Well, what do you expect? It's the CW. They don't care now. They know they broke. Nobody watches them. Yeah, man, we stuck. We'll just throw it out there until
Hang
they
on.
pull the plug.
Let me see what this is really about.
Final. There are some more episodes. You wait till they
Yeah,
get
there are 20 episodes total.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy the rest of them. I hope you get the chance to see the rest of the stories told.
Speaking of
So
episodes,
good.
have y'all guys been catching up on the Beast Wars watches?
I already finished rewatching Beast Wars.
I might be able.
I've not been watching Beast Wars.
Me neither. I have not caught up with it yet, but I have a holiday weekend, so maybe I'll get a chance to check it out. I've been kind of busy.
Somebody's got a glowing review for this show, and apparently this show's been out for a while. It's 10 out of 10, apparently. Let's see the other reviews. Amazing Western. Just don't feel like a CW show at all. Neither did Lucifer, thankfully. This show's the best. No Chuck Norris, no Texas Walker Ranger. Oh, 1 star. No Chuck, no Texas Ranger. Looks like a Westworld episode to start, but the foundation is promising. Well, somebody has a measured review. Interesting.
But the problem is they're writing women as men. That's the thing I don't like. I am just sick of seeing them writing because there's a lot of female characters I don't like. I said
Okay,
so many characters are unlikable.
talking of synopsis so far. Following Paramount's effort at backstory in Yellowstone with 1883 and 1923, the CW expands the Walker Texas Ranger universe with Walker Independence. Match up the Lone Ranger origin story a bit. Apparent Walker matrilineal antecedent. What the fuck does that mean? Antecedent. Is that supposed to be descendant spelled a different way? I don't know. Abby Davidson and her police officer husband Tom were traveling west post Civil War to escape corruption in Boston and start anew in Independence, Texas, parking their wagon and probably totally a large piano. Nice one, but for romantic interlude proves fatal for Tom, who is shot by an outlaw who goes to assume Tom's new job as sheriff of Independence. He starts on a quest to secure justice for a late spouse. And Genesis of the 21st century. Manera looks poised to lead the cast as a modernized equivalent of Barbara Stanwyck in the Big Valley, though an Irish immigrant overlay on her character would have been a nice touch, and the demands of network TV take the inevitable toll on the authenticity of the female roles, just as Big Valley actresses look like they spring from the front cover of McCall's. Walker Independence female cast gives the vibe of having dropped by from the Riverdale set. Outlaw, the hell do you mean? Outlaw Ally Hoyt Rollins. So Ally Hoyt Rollins seems a bit too refined as a believable gunslinger, but he could weather well. He may be the Walker patriarch, but his current Latino love interest may have to be sidetracked for that to come about. Don't know what that means, but whatever. Independence set can't get away from a little town in the middle of nowhere vibes so many westerns display. It will take a little chore to show a road junction, river crossing, mining operation, or other indicator that most western towns are founded upon. You have something there. You do have something there. On the scale of general authenticity, Independence clocks in midway between the storybook set of Gunsmoke's Dodge City and the more realistic Run Hue world of McCabe and Miss Miller. Post Appomattox. Anybody heard that word? Appomattox. The real Independence was a substantial place hosting Baylor University, and more creative writing may have worked that in. The Native American component is introduced early though inexplicably a band of too far east Apaches are pressed into service. I'm done. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not that I don't disagree. I just don't know what you're talking about.
I have no plan to watch the show, but you're welcome to watch the Walker Texas. I don't watch anything on the CW at all. I totally miss CW out. I want to keep my brain cells.
Aside from Lucifer had a good ending, though. Then again, Lucifer removed himself from CW in order to continue. It was Netflix after that, which stands that they could do whatever the fuck they want. That's why we got. I mean, Grant, yeah, you had Mace get her little gay wedding. I did not agree with the fact that they made Adam a misogynist, chauvinistic priss, but it is what it is on that front. I'm glad they did not make Lucifer and Chloe's daughter are gay. In fact, she didn't date nobody at all in this show, which is good. Because that's the thing that I had a problem with the CW is that every single time they had kids, the kids were gay or potentially gay.
With the CW.
Oh my god! I was like, damn, it's not like seriously, it's not one. Like, look, one or two. Give me that, just one or two. Not every kid has to be fucking gay. Damn. Like,
Yeah.
especially like that really got like that's where I really noticed it when it came to Arrow's kids, freaking Arrow's kids, motherfucking both the kids were gay. I'm like, fuck no, that would not happen. That is not how one like look, you got two siblings, okay, fine. One of them is only one is gonna be gay.
They go they go crazy with it now. They want to make everybody like that.
Oh,
That's
I
the
stand corrected. It
problem.
was on Fox, not CW. Then why do you have the CW logo? I could be wrong.
That's the problem. They're making everybody. It's when you turn around and make every single person. And what I don't like is when they make someone gay that never was, but all of a
No, they
sudden
did
they
not
are.
bring back Beast Wars. We're rewatching it in the upcoming stream for next month. We're gonna do a season by season discussion on Beast Wars, Neostar, with Matthew Flynn, the Gladiator K-On.
Which brings me to another thing I noticed, and is I noticed you never notice now when they do if a
Girl, you don't need
couple
to hide that. Just say rape. You know, we say that shit all the time on this fucking damn show. Or sexual assault. Oh god, don't even get me started on Once Upon a Time. My goodness, that shit got complicated fast in the third season. And after I was like, I was so checked out and dejected. My wife gave the fuck up. She kept going, but she gave the fuck up.
I
As soon as
never
Gurrel showed up,
You know,
as soon as Mulan and Gurrel showed up, I was like, I'm done.
you know, you can read the comic book series by Bill Willingham, Fables.
I didn't know there was a comic book series, but okay.
It's all I can tell you. It's better than Once Upon a Time.
I never got into that show. Everyone on my job told me to watch that show because they knew I liked fantasy and they thought that it would be for me, but I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into it. I just can't get into this. So I just lost track. I just couldn't get into it. It just, I don't know. It didn't work for me. Whatever they were doing, it didn't work for me. Maybe it was live action, mostly Disney characters, live action versions of them, but I just could not get into it.
That show had promise, but
Mhm.
it's like, my goodness.
Yeah.
Just when they start bringing in characters that just did not, I'm like, these characters would not fit well in a story like this. Like when Mulan came out, I was like, okay, why does she have to be here?
Didn't they make her gay on that show?
They did.
Okay, well, there's my answer right there. Okay.
When Elsa showed up, I was like, she should not be here. I don't care if Frozen came out. She should not be here.
Yeah,
And
the
then when,
entire cast of Frozen was actually in that show.
like, even when Cruella showed up, I was like, okay, what's this bitch doing here? What's she got to do with this shit? I'm like, the only person that was nearly original, even though every character was made and molded to look like every Disney character that Disney ever produced, was Rumpelstiltskin. And I'm sorry, I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking about it, when are we ever going to get a Rumpelstiltskin movie from Disney?
Oh, that's one they have not done.
That was a complete missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the fuck the premise of Rumpelstiltskin's story was. I just remember Rumpelstiltskin wanted a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it involved hate and spin needle. That's as much as I got out of Rumpelstiltskin. Can somebody please enlighten me what the fuck Rumpelstiltskin was even about?
Well, what I remember from my happy childhood and a performance at my school of Rumpelstiltskin, the story was about this princess or this queen. I guess she wanted a baby so badly and Rumpelstiltskin.
I thought she was a peasant girl.
See, I don't remember clearly, so you're probably correct. But eventually, she became a queen or a princess. And I think at the time, no, she was a peasant girl, and she was supposed to spin all of this. Supposed to spin it into gold, but she couldn't do it on her own. It was so much. So Rumpelstiltskin said that he would help her, but if he helped her, she would owe him for it in time. So I guess she made a promise about giving him her firstborn or whatever. But once the king was so impressed with the way how she was spinning the straw into gold, Rumpelstiltskin was doing this to help her. He fell in love with her and married her, and she had her first child. But she remembered her promise, but she loved the child so much she was going to renege on it and not give the child up. But the only way Rumpelstiltskin would not come for the child is she has to guess his name. She didn't know what his name was, and he said, "If you don't guess my name by a certain time, I'm going to come and take your child." Ha ha. So what she did is she had 3 days or the next full moon or something like that. So what she did was she sent out a maidservant to go off into the woods and to find out about this Rumpelstiltskin. And she just came across him in the woods singing and dancing upon a bonfire. And he was singing how the next day the queen's child will be his. And he said his name. And then the servant found out, yes, his name is Rumpelstiltskin. So the servant girl ran back from the forest to the palace to tell the queen that she found out what his name is. So when Rumpelstiltskin came the next night and gave her 3 times to say, "Do you know what my name is now?" And she played a little bit and said, I don't know. I don't know. And Rumpelstiltskin says, "You have one more try. And if you don't get it right, your child is mine." And then the queen said, "Oh, I don't know. I think the name is Rumpelstiltskin." And he went into this rage and he kept stomping around saying, "The devil told you, the devil told you," and something. And he stomped so hard, I guess he went down into the flames of evil. And then Rumpelstiltskin was gone. And that's all I remember. So if it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, but that's the story that was told to me when I was a kid. And then I remember seeing a production of it in our drama class back in school. So that's the story that I was told. Now, I don't know if Once Upon a Time did this, but Rumpelstiltskin was more of a villain. But that was the story. You know. I don't tell you why Rumpelstiltskin was the child, but I couldn't figure out what Rumpelstiltskin was. I don't know. I have to research that. What was he? Was he some sort of imp? Was he some sort of demon? I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a backstory for what he was supposed to be.
Yeah, they like to portray him as an imp, like as already shown in Shrek Ever After, because he was the main villain there.
Yes.
He was a goblin in Once Upon a Time. Well, not literally, but he looks like a goblin.
Yes, that's what that's the idea I was thinking that he was. He was some sort of goblin or
He was more than just that. He was actually the Beast and Beauty and the Beast. They kind of spliced him.
Really?
Because the love interest was Bale, and he was essentially the Beast. That's why he looked like a goblin, because he was the Beast in that storyline of Once Upon a Time. And Bale left him because he couldn't. There were some things he was dealing with, but I can't for the life of me remember why Bale left him. He was a spiteful person too. Very powerful in magic though. I think that's what was. I think that's what it was. He kept using magic to fix his problems, when it's really the problem within himself that he has to learn. That's why I put the two. Oh, he's meant to be the Beast and Beauty and the Beast. Gotcha.
I didn't watch the show,
stupid. That's kind of stupid. You just didn't want to waste all that money putting all that makeup on his face. Sure did blackface him though. Not saying he's wearing blackface, but damn it, does it look? Don't it look it? Don't it look it? Sometimes it does.
Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time, he had the role of a rogue whose moral alignment is chaotic neutral.
Oh, I didn't watch. I agree with you, Dominic. I didn't watch Once Upon a Time, so I don't know exactly. But the Wolf is telling me what they did with him, and that is kind of stupid. They don't think. They don't think what they do with the stories, because he was a devious trickster.
They thought it was a genius. Yeah, I was saying Like, not only that, you had Peter Pan being the kidnapper of children. He's all it's fun. It's kind of funny because he's already an adult at that point. He's basically in his mid-20s, and he's got and and then wait, no, I'm confusing it with Captain James Hook. They made Captain James Hook a beauty in that one. Wow, everybody, every girl that whomever I'm once upon a time with, any female would talk about Captain James Hook and how hot he was.
So they made Captain Hook a hottie.
That was
Okay, they want to go there. Okay.
a 20-something-year-old hottie. I'm surprised they didn't put Jack Sparrow in this motherfucker. That's like surprisingly they didn't put Jack Sparrow in this motherfucker.
That's a
Cruella,
match made
she
in
looked fine.
heaven.
She was
Yes.
Captain Hook meets Captain Jack Sparrow.
I'm
That's
just
a
saying,
match made
like-
in heaven.
Yes. I
guess-
would watch
I guess
that.
I guess the appeal. I guess the appeal for me, no, what weird about Peter Pan's side was the fact that Peter Pan was gone and he was evil and he would kidnap children. But what was weird to me was they had a fucking 8-legged crocodile running around in that motherfucker for the TikTok crocodile.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in the original story, Peter was never evil.
He just didn't want to be alone.
Exactly.
But then this is also the thing on the story of Peter Pan. It's kind of a depressing story once you begin to think about it, because despite that he has Tinkerbell, Peter will always be a little lonely because he never would have a mature, lasting relationship.
That's why I hate that
Well,
damn
that's what-
story.
And not to mention,
That's why I like
him
Hook
being
more
in
than I like the
Neverland,
original Peter Pan.
he will be he'll be immortal and won't be able to age.
Mm-hmm.
You liked Hook. You like the Hook movie better than the original Peter Pan story?
Because
Well-
the motherfucker grew up. It's the reason why I like
Yeah.
Peter Pan the Pirate, because they had an episode where he grew the fuck up. Granted, here's the thing though. They also showed the consequence, or at least they showed the reason why he has to stay young. There's a reason why he has to stay young, because because he's the one who, I guess you could say he's the one who thought up Neverland, or maybe he's the one who's the architect of Neverland, right? So if he grows up, he ceases to believe in Neverland because he's getting older, and the older he gets, he ceases to believe Neverland. But he's also aging at a rapid rate as well, because technically, because by that point you could say he's immortal in Peter Pan the Pirates. He's just an immortal little boy that can fly. By the way, all everybody can fly, the kids and the Lost Boys. But that's what was so awesome about that damn show. Actually, like I said, I take Peter Pan and the Pirates over Peter Pan the Disney movie any day, and that goes alongside with Hook. But let me tell you about that episode, and it's the reason why it's my favorite episode was the fact that when he grew up, not only was he dying, but so too was Neverland. And the funny thing is, to kill a fairy, all you gotta do is say in her face, "I don't believe in fairies." So there was a moment where when oh, let me tell you how this shit began. Actually, this episode began. They found a way to trap Captain Hook on a tree, right? They have him tied to a tree and create this elaborate machine that shoots spears, right? So Peter Pan's relishing the moment of killing Captain Hook. So at the same time, he has him on trial, and I'm using air quotes on that one, kangaroo court trial, which the charges against Captain Hook are indefensible. But this is Peter Pan relishing at the moment of killing Captain Hook. That episode was dark. It was 2-part episode 2. It was 2-parter. That shit got dark fast. The dude was cutting ropes, and every time he shoot a spear would miss him by the head. I'm thinking like he about to hit the last one until Hook give him the big reason you suck, Peter Pan speech, which was fucking crazy. He says, "You ain't even a real man. You're a little boy. What do you know about growing up? I became a man." And yes, that's right, child. He was This was also delivered by the great Tim Curry, who voiced Captain Hook. Yeah, he voiced Captain Hook in that show. But that like that made Peter Pan pause, and he just straight up walks away, dumbfounded at what Captain Hook said to him, giving Hook time to break from his bonds because they didn't tie those ropes tight enough. So he broke out his bone and escaped. And like at this point, like he took Captain Hook's words to heart to the point where he's looking at the mirror and he's like the insecurity is just boiling up inside of him to the point where he marks his face with chalk to simulate wrinkles on his face, and then suddenly like the next part of the episode, everybody sees him and he's a grown man. He don't even, and what's funny, he doesn't even know who the fuck everybody is, not even Wendy, and he's just a grown man. And she's like, who? And Tinkerbell Pearl like Peter Pan, you grown up. Who the hell are you? Well, I'm a fairy. Well, I don't believe in fairy. Ah, don't say that. I don't believe in fairy. Ah, I'm paraphrasing, by the way. I was like, damn. This this episode got real because not only the Tinkerbell is on the verge of dying, the magic in Neverland was dying to a point where nobody couldn't fly. Not even Peter Pan could fly. Well, actually, it started off him being a teenager. He kind of like got older to the point where his feet actually broke through his shoes. Then he became an adult, so he's barefoot now. And then he became an old guy, and it's like man, I was like, man, that shit was dark. And the only way to say it was that the only way to say Neverland was that he said, "I believe in fairies," and that's where things will start reverting back to where it was. I was like, okay, that's a quick solution to the problem, but damn, that two part was something. I was like, y'all, like I'm telling you guys, look at 90 shows. You will find before we even got Gargoyles, Batman animated series, we had some gems. We had some gems. Like that was woo wee.
I believe you,
stuff.
but that's one I never watched though. I guess I have to look back on some 90 shows I didn't catch, but I just never could get into it. Sounds like
By
a very
the way,
deep,
Peter Pan
traumatizing
Pirates is
episode.
available on. By the way, Peter Pan and the Pirates is available on YouTube. You can watch that shit. But like that again, that became my favorite fucking episode. That, or at least that became my favorite iteration of Peter Pan. That, and because he ain't wearing no tights anymore. He ain't wearing that green gay shit. He had a cape. He had shorts. He had a ponytail. Yeah, he was kind of a dick still, but like he was cool though. He was cool. Like, that was the cool. Like every time when somebody mentioned Peter Pan and the Pirates, I'm like, oh, you talking about the cool Peter Pan, the one I like the most. Like fuck that Disney version. I'm gonna show y'all. Let me show you guys Peter Pan and the Pirates. That shit was
from Once Upon a Time.
No, this
From
was a
Peter
90s
Pan and
show
the
called
Pirates that I was talking about right now.
Oh, okay,
Peter Pan.
sorry.
I'm saying right now, that was my shit growing up.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, man. Yeah, I'm gonna share a screen real quick, child. Don't worry. I'm gonna show you guys what the hell I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about because I had to babysit my nephew sometimes, and he watched those shows.
This was around the time of Pirates of Dark Water too. That was a good show too.
Yeah, my nephew, I had to babysit him some days, and I would put those cartoons on for him. So
Wait, there it is. It was loading for a bit too long.
So you have to do the song.
I'm sorry, getting a little side there.
There it is.
I think I know. I
This
think
one
I know
Fox
this.
Kids had.
Oh yes, I know this. I had to put it on for my nephew when I babysat him.
That's Captain Hook.
Yeah, I remember this cartoon.
Oh, it's all animated too?
Yep, it's animated.
I actually remember watching this animated series.
That crocodile scared the fuck out of me because he had a gold tooth and flat teeth. Ain't no crocodile got no damn flat teeth. Look at that shit. Look at that. Look at that. Look at Tinkerbell with that goofy ass hat on. And she can throw magic at people. So better. Tiger Lily. Yeah, Tiger Lily in there. You got the mermaids in there. This is when Peter Pan was a superhero.
I remember this show. I probably watched it with my nephew. I had to babysit him so I let him watch his cartoons.
Motherfucker got pants on. Look at him. He's wearing pants. Motherfucker wearing pants. What do Disney Peter Pan got on that Peter Pan? That motherfucker badass. Look at him.
He has a tunic.
I don't give a damn. The only person that can wear a tunic and make it look badass is freaking Link from the Legend of Zelda series. Peter Pan, he can shake his ass all he wants. Hang out with Tingle.
Well, that Peter Pan look has been copied. Is Disney what happens with Disney a lot is when they create these stories, they sort of set a blueprint of what they think Peter Pan should be. So when you say Peter Pan, you immediately think of Disney's Peter Pan because that's the image.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. That is the image that has been embedded to us now. Is the way he's designed. So even when they've done stage versions of Peter Pan, usually he's green. Not he's green, but the outfit he's wearing is green with tights, and that image is stuck around.
I remember that
for
Peter
a long
Pan
time.
peanut butter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, even that Peter Pan's green.
Yes. You say Tinkerbell, you think
don't give a
Disney's
damn.
Tinkerbell.
Peter Pan and the Pirates all
Because
the way. Peter Pan
set
and the Pirates all the fucking way.
See what they said. They set the tone, so that's why sometimes people, if they want to do a new version, they have to come up with something different because the look that Disney has been embedded into our culture.
And not to mention the times when Peter Pan was actually played by a lady, and time whenever they would do the Peter Pan musical to portray his youthfulness.
I've heard many stories of women who have played Peter Pan. Yes.
Every time when I would think of a live action Peter Pan for the Peter Pan musical, I cannot help but think Allison Williams in the Peter Pan musical, or no, Peter Pan live actually. It was even the one with Christopher Walken as Captain Hook.
Yes, I remember.
And yes, you heard me right, Christopher Walken as Captain Hook.
Ooby-doo, I want to be like you.
That's the Jungle
Book. But that's King Louie from the Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's the Jungle Book.
I know.
He voiced.
I just don't remember what the fuck he was singing in that damn play. So the only thing I know that.
Wait, I think Christopher Walken also played him in that movie.
Sugar on me.
Oh God.
Oh, don't tell me y'all forgot about Balls of Fury now.
No. Some people think that's a classic.
All I'm saying is Peter Pan and the Pirates is available on YouTube. All episodes, 65 episodes. My goodness. I need to go down some memory lane then. Shit. This is back when 90s shows ran as long as they did. Oh, don't worry. We're still gonna be covering X-Men. The 90s X-Men next year. Y'all better fasten y'all seatbelts and get your panties up because we're gonna be going through all these season by season. My goodness, it's 5 seasons. I hope y'all ready.
And
are we going to do the same thing with the rest of the other Marvel shows from the 90s?
Not yet, dude. Hold your damn horses.
I mean, I'm just asking.
That's a good question. My answer is hold your damn horses. One show at a time. One show at a time.
Okay.
One is that we'll cover. We will cover the Iron Man 90s cartoon and the Fantastic Four 90s cartoon. Even the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, because I just really cannot wait just to do Incredible Hulk because of how much we would really talk about how sexy She-Hulk really was, especially when doing a Marilyn Monroe reference.
Yes. The way she should be that the TV show has destroyed. That's what she should be.
And you know what's funny about the 90s? A lot of these shows, a lot of these great shows came from Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. They
European
did.
Pirates
Really?
was a Canadian production, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
Eh,
it was
Let me
made in
look that up.
Canada before the country
Yep.
lost its ways.
And when we do the X-Men 90s, everybody, it's a public service to us because we all know the MCU is about to do is about to destroy this. So we owe it as an obligation to you to tell you how they really should be before you indulge in their X-Men 97, which will be a disaster incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Why we're still here and we're venting, did we ever talk about, I think we did talk about the bringing back of Deadpool. We covered that last week, didn't we, when the announcement was made? Deadpool and
We
Wolverine.
we touched upon it slightly. I
Oh,
did recall that we're gonna bring it up some other time.
okay.
Um, let me put that next to movies I'm actually looking forward to mostly at the most. I would definitely try to check that out. Even though Deadpool is not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy the first two movies though. So they have the Deadpool movies have been nothing but good. So Ryan Reynolds knows. Ryan Reynolds I have good faith in Ryan Reynolds knowing what he's doing when it comes to this stuff. The next movie that I'm looking forward to watching, even though I have I had my criticism with the first movie, was the Shazam sequel. I'm not watching that damn Black Adam. You want to know what the deal
No.
breaker was? Y'all really want to know
You
what the
could be
deal
the world's
breaker
destructor,
was?
or you could be the world's savior or the world's destructor. My ass. That's not Black Adam.
That's your
And
deal
not to
breaker.
mention
But
he
you
was
want
a
to know what my deal
pharaoh.
breaker was?
What was your deal breaker?
He's not a pharaoh. He was a slave.
Oh.
Okay, see where this is going.
I
No,
meant
no,
like the
no.
Black
My
Adam
deal
in the
breaker.
comics.
No, my deal breaker was you had Hawkman with his Nth Male mace, and he catches that shit mid flight. Fuck you.
Yeah, you are so running out of ideas. You're literally so desperate to get everyone back. You decide to put in other extra DC superheroes from the fucking
No,
Justice
no, no,
League
no, no.
into fucking
I said
Black
fuck
Adam.
you at the fact that he caught that shit and withstood that shit. Black Adam is magic. What does Nth Metal do to magic?
It negates magic.
Exactly. That should have made him budge. That motherfucker tanked that shit and chucked his ass into a car or punched him into a car. I'm like, bullshit on that mace. That mace should have been enough to hurt him. Not scar him, but enough to make him flinch. Because what happened to Superman and freaking Superman Batman public enemies when they went against, I'm gonna say, Captain Marvel and Hawkman, he made Superman flinch.
Who, Black Adam?
No, Hawkman.
Okay, I see. Okay.
He made him flinch. He didn't hurt him. He didn't hurt him that bad, but he made him flinch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mhm.
like, bruh, that's Nth Metal. That should have that that may not that should not be able to at least like make him bleed, but that should have made him flinch. That shit is magic. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Neil Star. I saw that show like, are you fucking kidding me? So he's gonna be an overpowered badass throughout this whole fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another deal breaker. He's fighting Trigun. Or what looks to be Trigun.
Who, Black
He's
Adam?
got this demon dude with yeah, Black Adam's fighting
Okay.
Trigun in this movie, apparently. So instead they're gonna chicken out and have him fight somebody much eviler than him. That's why I saw
Great.
when I saw the second
Black
trailer
Adam,
when he
the villain
that
in the
this was
DC
another one I was
universe,
going to.
ruler of
In fact, this
Egypt, Black
mhm.
Black Adam, Shazam, or Captain Marvel's rival, is now suddenly fighting a being way more evil than him, and is literally Raven's father, is now in the stand movie because Black Adam can either be the destructor or the savior. Hold on a moment. Fuck you, Warner Bros. You made one of the most intimidating, most powerful villains in DC Comics and turned him into the freaking good guy by fighting literally all the extra heroes in the Justice League because you have no fucking clue on who you want to put in and you're so desperate to get them back, and now you want him to fight Trigon, Raven's father, because you want to make extra money by making
He's
with a
so
man starring
mad
Black
that
Adam,
his mic cut
who's
in
already
and
dragging
out.
his career into the fucking ground, into the fucking ground, that he's literally capitalizing off the Fast and Furious franchise because for basically every single year, in spite that it should have been dead a long time ago after his friend died.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason
Also,
why I stopped watching.
A quick correction. The team in Black Adam is the Justice Society, not the Justice League.
Yeah.
Still.
And besides the race off that was done to Carter and Cyclone, the Justice Society, deserve a better treatment. Although I do hope that in the movie they are being treated well. However, I remember when watching the trailer and how Black Adam caught Hawkman's mental maze. Like you, Wolf, I call bullcrap on that because it would actually hurt Black Adam.
Mm-hmm. That's the part that I was like, I'm not watching this shit. No. Hell to the no. You just shoehorn in the Justice Society, and you're not even gonna make them at least make the man flinch. Fuck off, movie.
This movie looks like it was
And after
just
what
made
Janelle
to
has,
be made.
what
I really,
Yes. It's just that DC just doesn't give a shit about its
and after
characters
what
anymore.
Janelle
Yeah.
said
Give
on
up on
Tuesday,
DC.
hold up. After what Janelle said on last Tuesday, I'm even more furious now, and I refuse to watch that because it's because of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's influence on that damn production. Is why
Yeah.
he's so powerful. In fact, it's the reason why he's not in the Shazam movie as a villain, because he wanted his character to be an anti-hero.
Despite
You know, they say
Black Adam is a selfish character who wants power to himself.
He may
essentially
have
a Superman Doom, a Superman Dr. Doom, since he owns his own country now.
Yes,
Look,
because he rules Egypt. In
Black
fact, his
Adam-
acronym for
Black
Shazam
Adam
is
knows-
literally the powers of the Egyptian gods.
not to mention, Black Adam may have morals and standards. However, he still rubs everybody the wrong way, regardless if you're a hero or a villain.
Yeah, because Black Adam is a lawful evil.
Mm-hmm. Even when he was a member of the JSA, he still butts heads with them. Like his morality his moral alignment doesn't change.
And they want to hate on they want to hate on what's his face, Vin Diesel. Like, Vin Diesel, man, Vin Diesel is saint compared to freaking Dwayne.
well,
I
again,
mean,
it's
granted, he also did his own bullshit on one particular movie called The Last Witch Hunter.
yeah. Well, Vin Diesel's not a very good actor. His films outside of all he has is the Fast and Furious franchise. Anything outside of that has bombed. He just doesn't have the charisma. He needs that franchise. That's the only thing that's paying his bills is the Fast and Furious franchise. Yeah,
And some other movies.
The thing about Dwayne Johnson, the truth is the fact that Dwayne Johnson really is not an actor. He's Dwayne Johnson. He's pretty much the same guy in every film. What people have always said about him is that he makes franchises better when he's added to it. When he's by himself, the films don't really do well or he's pretty much himself. But when he's added to a franchise, it sort of makes the franchise better. When I look at this Black Adam movie, it seemed like they just threw it out there. They just said, "We'll just
They
make this."
cast a
Put
Samoan
Dwayne
to play an
Johnson's name.
Egyptian.
They who?
They cast a Samoan to play an Egyptian.
That's probably his influence on the film. He probably sat down at the table and said, "You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this." So this seems more like an ego project for Johnson than, like someone said, and Neil Starr said in the comments, he's not being true to the character, he's being true to his ego. That's probably was his influence in the casting. He said, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to put me in this film, you gotta cast a Samoan as an Egyptian. You got to do this."
No, he just no, nothing like that. I'm just taking the irony of that. A Pacific Islander playing a fucking Egyptian. That's fucking hilarious.
Yep. And here's how
That
DC
is
is.
fucking hilarious.
Here's how DC is. Sharon. I'm already about to share the screen. Here it is. How DC started. See Tim Drake. This guy, my favorite Robin. How it's going.
Exactly.
Fuck you, DC.
Oh my
Fuck
goodness.
you. You do not give any single shit about your characters anymore. Not even David Zaslav could even say that.
Neil.
Not even David Zaslav could even say that about that, because he doesn't even give a shit anymore. Because no one cares about new DC anymore after you just tried to make DC fucking Watchmen. Even Marvel tries to do this.
Exactly, Final, because I've said I'm sounding like correct. Final, there are stupid, ignorant people that don't know DC working for Warner Brothers. They have
Not
no
every
idea.
superhero comic has to be Watchmen. They really don't.
Yes,
and Alan Moore knows about this.
That's what they don't understand.
Well, they took the wrong lessons of not just Watchmen, but also his time on Miracle Man.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
How it works. Go ahead, Final.
Yep.
If you
hang on.
If you want to like truly experience or relive the days like when of each of these characters, whether it's Marvel, DC, or even the Independents, when they were treated well and with respect. Either you can find it either through back issues or fan works, be it like a fan comic or fanfic, because it shows that the fans care about the characters and the universe they inhabit more so than the current heads of the publishers.
Exactly, because here's the thing. This is the run with Carol Danvers back when she was Miss
Brian
Marvel.
Reed, nice.
Yep. Yeah, this is actually volume 4 of the Brian Reed's Miss Marvel run back in mid 2000s. I think
Dude,
this was
it's really good. It has aged gracefully.
I think this was 2006, because this was somewhere in the mid 2000s. This is back when Carol Danvers was actually beloved by so many. And
the Brian Reed Miss Marvel run, it came about after the events of House of M.
Oh, did it? I thought House of M was like much later.
Well, the Miss Marvel run came about like after the events of House of M. It even had a zero issue where the focus is on Carol, but also she retained the memories of her time in the House of M reality. Because in there she was more beloved and recognized than how she was in the original 616.
Indeed.
Well, again,
when you stop and think about it, like with Carol, like she's not an A-list superhero. She's more like around like the B class.
I mean, yeah, same thing with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
Which one?
Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because
There's the Marvel.
hardly anyone else would hardly anything remember a thing about Captain Marvel aside from when he died.
But yet, even before he died, he was still a major hero. You know, like people like he has acquaintances, like he had made friends like for friends with different heroes of the Marvel universe. And when he was like struck with cancer, it shook everybody up.
Mm-hmm. In fact, when you actually look at his story, it's actually the most heroic as fuck story, actually. And I swear, I say heroic as fuck because his story from when he started off because he was actually part of the Kree.
However,
His
he
sto-
rebelled.
Yeah, because his story is similar to that of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta from Devil May Cry, from waking up to justice and actually standing alongside humanity to fight against a common evil.
And this was, and keep in mind, this was years before for Sparta and the Devil May Cry series came to be. But Marvel, he beat Sparta to it,
Mm-hmm.
being a defector from Decadence.
Mm-hmm. Or hell, if you want to bring in 70s references that actually Japanese TV shows that actually did something like this, Kamen Rider, the original Kamen Rider, because many Kamen Riders, what they would all have in common, well, most Kamen Riders, because Kamen Rider Saber is usually is actually on the side for good, is a creation that's used for evil, but then rebels and fights against the same evil that they created, that he was created by. And I say most writers that use evil to fight against evil, because Kamen Rider Saber was pretty much the exception, because everyone else is basically just there just as a force for good. But yeah, Kamen Rider is another example with various examples of this. Even when you go back to Kamen Rider Ichigo.
Let's start
And
wrapping it up.
if you want to add, and if you want to add in a recent example, the Clintar, aka the symbiote, via the retcon Donny Cates did, which was a retcon to what Bendis had done with the symbiotes during his run of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, essentially the Clintar, like they were made as drones of Null and Eldritch being who is the progenitor of the symbiotes. However, when they became disconnected with him due to Thor, and they bonded with beings that introduced them to like heroism, nobility, and honor. They turned against their master, and as soon as like imprisoned them in their artificial planet, which they called Clintar, and it's their word for cage. So over the centuries, like the symbiotes, like want to atone for their actions during their time as soldiers for Null.
Damn.
Very knowledgeable. You did your
Anyways, yeah, we're
homework.
about to start wrapping it up now.
Yeah, it's getting. I think we did.
Because Wolf is about to.
It's getting late on my end, and so I think we need to wrap it up. If Wolf is ready, the only last one I would to get in, but we're going to wrap it up. We'll get up another time. I was going to vid about if you notice when they make couples LBGT, you notice they're all interracial. I don't have anything against interracial couples, but I noticed everybody when they're hooking up, if the gay person is white, their partner has to be a person of color. I'm noticing more and more of that. Not anything against it.
Bros was no different.
Yeah. I'm seeing it on TV shows. I'm seeing it, of course. I'm not going to bring it up. Wolf have seen it already, what they did to Interview with the Vampire, the TV show. They're making.
Let's start with the CW. The CW is a bedrock for interracial gay couples. We had Supergirl's sister with a Mexican. You had Yeah, Mr. Terrific with his white boyfriend or
Oh,
his white husband.
they really did Michael Holt dirty in the Arrowverse. Why would
They even had let's say was Dinah a lesbian too?
no no it's his sister Sarah. However, she's bisexual
No. Laurel, Dinah, the Black Canary that came after Laurel.
from Earth 3.
Hmm
No,
No,
she's
no, no,
straight.
no, not Earth 3. No, the one in the
No,
later season
Earth
of
2,
Arrow.
Earth 2.
Yeah, Earth 2 Laurel came in, but she's straight as a pencil. But I'm talking about Dinah, the Mexican cop.
They made her eat. She was gay.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm asking. No, she wasn't gay. She had yeah, she was heterosexual. Her she was on a rampage because her boyfriend on the force had got killed. That's how they introduced her when she was the next Black Canary.
mm-hmm.
Um, there was Snart, but I don't know if he had a biracial or racial couple, a racial partner. I think he had a white partner. Sarah's the essential. She had Ava. Before that, she did have that one bitch in the League of Shadows.
Nessa.
Nessa, yeah. So let's go show you how much I care about that bitch. Didn't care enough to remember her damn name. Yep. Oh yeah, that's
Thank you.
Vigilante. Another Arrow clone. But yeah, there was also Arrow's kid, his son, who they made gay. I'm like that boy looked nowhere near gay when he was a kid. Yeah, you made him gay, and he's dating one of John Diggle's sons, who is also gay. Yet the evil son is the straight man. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay. See where that's going. See where that's going. I don't have any. I'm not knocking on anybody. I'm not knocking interracial couples. I have nothing against that at all. But I just find it interesting when there is a gay storyline and the main character. Every single character seems to
Speaking of
be
which, speaking of Arrow,
interracial.
did I
Mhm.
ever tell you about the time I met Wild Dog in real life?
Who is Wild Dog?
Oh, really?
Yep. Back then back then he had already did Biker Boys and Pulse. But me and my homeboys was at Venice Beach. This was when I was a this is when I was a dick back then. But even then, like, let me tell you this story real quick. We were at Venice Beach. They were out to go ball. I was mostly out there hoping that we were gonna go walk on the sun, walk in the sand, walk along the beach or something like that. But you know what? They're my friends, and I'm just sitting there just watching them play ball. And when they took a break, it's like one of them said, "That's homeboy from Biker Boys." I looked up. Holy shit, that is homeboy from Biker Boys. And what's crazy was I didn't really stop him to talk to him. I was in the mood for drawing, so I'm just drawing, and I'm doing freehand, like freestyle, right? So I drew my demon character that I was telling you about, the demon that was escaping from hell, right? So I'm drawing, I'm sitting here, and he runs up, he says, "Hey, that drawing looks tight." I was like, "Yeah, thank you." He walks back to play some more of the game, and I took a picture of him. It's a far away picture, and sadly I lost that picture. The digital camera I had, I lost. I was like, so I checked that off on the bucket list. I did miss a somewhat accelerate. Well, I would never have known that he would actually become pretty much well known for being Wild Dog in Arrow. I told my wife the same story too. I was like, I met him in real life.
Oh, that would have been an interesting experience. That had
I
to
didn't
be
shake his hand or anything. It's just like a quick like, hey, that drawing is tight. Like he acknowledged my art, my the little art I was doing. I was like, oh, Wow.
Mhm.
It's like, you know what? My biggest regret was I didn't do enough more with that encounter, but you know, it was a relaxed day, it was a casual day, and I was
Finally! Finally! I'm on chapter 15 of Light and Darkness.
awesome.
The written script of Light and Darkness.
I still need to write chapter 4 of Bouncers. I got the outline in my head. I just need to put it down. And it's only the first act of that chapter right now that's sitting in my head right now. I need to jot down into the MeWe chat for you guys. I know Schooner's been
Oh, yeah.
waiting for a while because this is definitely a chapter that's mostly Shirley focused.
Mm.
But when I revisit that in the second draft, everything's gonna be rearranged and retooled. But right now I'm just still trying to jot that down. I still need to get back on my damn Hollow Week art. I haven't even done no sketches yet. I plan to do so in the weekend, and I still haven't done my homeboy's art trade. Yet I finally found a reference that will definitely work, and I'm going to surprise him. I haven't told him what I'm going to be doing. I just told him I'm sketching it. I need to get sketching on it, by the way, but I definitely am going to surprise him. Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I'd like to thank all my compadres for venting out their frustration, especially the Bear of the North, Eloise Dottle. Isn't her? I'm starting to live for that stuff. Her talking about the House of Dragon.
Well, she's been she's been checking it out, so I'm just interested to see how she personally feels about it.
Tune in next Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, where we're actually going to be doing the elevator pitch Halloween movie ideas, or rather horror movie ideas. So you guys better take some time to refine your stories. I just got a simple one.
Oh, you certainly will love what I have in store for that time.
I'm looking forward
I
to
do
that.
have something very interesting. Does it have to be movie? Or I was thinking TV show,
Movie,
but
show, TV show, cartoon, whatever. Just
I do.
horror ideas, period.
I do have one. Yes, I do. It's
The
ready
next
to go.
coming week would be our favorite suit up montages. Don't have to necessarily be a Marvel movie, doesn't necessarily have to be a superhero movie, just our favorite suit up montages in any movie or story. Period. So I'll be preparing that as well coming up. I'm not sure if I'm going to hold off to have Schooner with us on this one too. Our favorite lock and load montages, as in heroes gearing up, or at least the gear up montage as it's called. That's gonna be easy for you guys. I don't know about the suit montages for you guys. I did that for
Or
a
I should just call it
challenge.
Henshin. Just call that video. Yeah, just call that video Henshin, just for Neostar for all the Kamen Rider fans.
So that's what's gonna be happening in 3 weeks. For the Thursdays, not sure what we're gonna be doing on the next batch of Thursdays, but tune in for November where we are going to be joined with Matthew Flynn and talk about Beast Wars.
That should be fun.
That's supposed to send chills down your spines, but okay.
I said that should be fun.
So, I'd like to thank the Lovely Lady of Valor Plus Size.
Hi, everybody. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and thank you for joining us for our vent session. I hope you enjoyed our vents and Wolf's vents and find it very entertaining and informative. As always, if you have any suggestions on what you like for us to vent about or talk about, you know how animated we can be. So please leave the comments and suggestions below. I am sure Wolf will appreciate that. And until then, I will see you all next week, and you all have a good weekend.
The Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12, which he actually subverted my expectation. I thought he was going to be the party pooper, but he did not disappoint.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf10 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off, and remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, who was also expected to be a party pooper, but he also did not disappoint.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us in tonight's live stream. If you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, share, and if you have not already, subscribe to Wolf10 Media's channel. If you got any topics, whether it's movies, TV shows, video games, books, anything else, make sure you put it down in the comment section down below. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, shining off. And remember, even though things get dark, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Never lose hope, and always look to the future, but never forget the past.
But make sure it's not those two barnacle heads like last time. Last time I was trapped in the woods. Okay, thank you, Squidward.
Oh, leave on. That's a good note to leave on.
So welcome at Wolf10. Remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
Now you're all probably wondering why I called you here.
Hell yeah, you dragged us out in the middle of a stormy night. What's wrong with you, fool?
And why did you want us all in black?
I'm setting my scene.